Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to do a deep dive into something that's, well, it could totally change the way we learn.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
It's EON Reality's Human 2.0 framework. Have you heard about this?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's all about using AI to make education more engaging.
Okay, so make it more fun, basically.
Yeah, and way more effective. Like, get this, it might even help us learn up to 500% faster.
500%? Are you serious? That's like insane. How is that even possible?
Well, it kind of starts by tackling a big problem.
Okay, lay it on me.
So, traditional education, right? It's having trouble keeping up with technology.
Especially with AI. Yeah, it's changing so fast.
Exactly. And because of that, a lot of students just aren't prepared for the jobs that'll be around in the future.
That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, things are changing so quickly.
Plus, let's be honest, the old ways of learning, they can be kind of boring.
Oh, tell me about it. I spent so much time memorizing stuff in school and it just went in one ear and out the other.
Right. So Human 2.0, it tries to change all that.
Okay, so how does it actually do that?
It's got these three main pillars, right? The first one is called EON Innovate.
EON Innovate. Okay, what's that all about?
It basically encourages students to be curious and to find problems that they actually care about solving.
So instead of just like sitting there and absorbing information, they're actually like doing something.
Yeah, they become problem solvers.
So I like that. It's way more active. So instead of memorizing dates for a history test, could they use those dates to like understand why people migrated or what caused a war?
That's a perfect example. It's all about getting the why behind the what.
Yeah, okay, I'm getting it. And what's the second pillar?
So the second one is called vibe coding. This is where things get really cool.
Vibe coding. All right, I'm intrigued.
It lets you use like normal language, not code, to tell the AI what you want to create.
Wait, so you're saying I could build a website just by describing it?
Exactly. It's like magic. The AI generates the code for you.
Wow, but hold on. Doesn't that mean students won't actually learn how to code? Like the actual, language and stuff.
That's a good point, and it's something the people behind Human 2.0 have thought about. The idea isn't to replace coding skills entirely.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's more about making the whole process easier so students can focus on the bigger picture, like problem solving and creativity.
So it's kind of like giving them the tools to build something awesome without needing years of training, right?
Exactly. And that's why it could be huge, especially for people who haven't traditionally had as much access to tech.
Yeah, I see that. It can really open things up for a lot of people.
Definitely. Okay, ready for the third pillar?
Hit me with it.
This one's all about flow state. You know that feeling you get when you're totally absorbed in something, like time just flies by?
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's flow state, and it's when our brains are like super efficient. Human 2.0 actually uses techniques to help students get into that state.
How do they do that? Like, is it a special room or something?
Yeah, it could be different things. Personalized learning platforms, feedback from AI, even virtual reality.
So they're figuring out how to make us learn at our best whenever we want. That's pretty cool.
And there's research to back it up. Being in that flow state can boost your learning and problem solving like crazy, maybe even by that 500% we talked about earlier.
Okay, now I'm starting to see how this all works together.
Yeah.
So you have these three pillars, but how does it actually play out in practice?
Well, Human 2.0 has a 5-step process. First, students have to find a problem they actually care about, right?
So it could be anything like climate change or making a better video game.
Exactly. Anything that really motivates them.
Okay, got it. So they find a problem they're passionate about. What's next?
That's when they use vibe coding to start building a solution.
So they're actually working on a real solution with the help of AI.
Yeah. And that's where they start to see their ideas become real.
That's so cool. Seeing your ideas come to life like that must be amazing.
It is. And that's where the flow state part comes in. Students go into these like dedicated flow sessions designed to like eliminate distractions.
Flow sessions. Sounds intense.
They're all about helping students reach that deep focus.
So basically, it's a supercharged study hall, but for the 21st century. What actually happens in these sessions?
Okay, so during these sessions, students, they're working on their projects, they're learning new stuff, really digging deep into their problem. And get this, the AI, it can actually like adapt to their pace.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, and it gives them personalized feedback, so they're always challenged, but not like overwhelmed.
So they're always in that sweet spot, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then this all leads to the fourth step, real-world project-based learning. This is where it gets real.
Okay, the rubber meets the road. What's that all about?
Students, they take everything they've learned, right? And they use it to build actual solutions to that problem they picked at the beginning.
So they're not just learning about stuff, they're actually making a difference.
Totally. They could be building prototypes, developing apps, even doing real research.
That's incredible. It sounds like Human 2.0 is way more hands-on than traditional education.
It is, and it prepares them for jobs in a way that like regular school often doesn't. They get real experience, they learn to work with AI, and they develop those critical problem-solving skills.
Yeah, those are like gold in today's world.
Exactly. I can already see this being a game changer for so many industries.
Oh, absolutely. So what about the final step? What happens after all that?
Okay, so the last step focuses on feedback and making sure this whole thing can work on a large scale. Institutions, they can use AI to track how students are doing and adjust their teaching.
So they're always improving. That's smart.
Yeah. And the coolest part, this framework, it can be used at all levels of education, from kindergarten all the way to like corporate training.
So it's not just about changing how individuals learn, it's about transforming entire systems.
Exactly. It has the potential to like totally revolutionize education.
That's a big deal. So with all this in mind, what does this mean for all our listeners out there?
Well, I think it means the future of learning is looking pretty bright, engaging, exciting, and yeah, I'd even say fun.
That's a word you don't hear often when talking about education.
Right. And it's about embracing AI, not as something that's replacing us, but as a tool to help us be even better.
I love that. It's all about partnership, not replacement.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's definitely exciting stuff, but it also makes me think, are there any like downsides to this whole human 2.0 thing, potential challenges?
Oh, for sure. There are always two sides to the coin. It's super important to consider those. Yeah.
So what are some of the like potential drawbacks? What should we be thinking about?
Well, some people are worried that we might become too reliant on AI.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Like,
Yeah.
will we forget how to think for ourselves if AI is always doing the hard stuff?
Exactly. Will we lose our ability to like think critically and solve problems on our own? That's a real concern.
That's a big one. And what about access? I mean, we talked about how vibe coding could make coding easier for everyone, but what about the technology itself? Will everyone be able to afford it, or will it just create a whole new digital divide?
Right. That's a huge question. To make Human 2.0 work, you need a lot of investment. Technology, infrastructure, teacher training, all of that. And we need to make sure that every student has access, regardless of their background or where they live. Otherwise, it could make inequality even worse.
Absolutely. And what about teachers? I mean, are they just going to be replaced by robots?
It's funny, a lot of people are asking that these days, but honestly, I don't think AI can ever truly replace human teachers. They're just too important.
Why do you say that?
Well, teachers do so much more than just deliver information, right? They're mentors, they guide students, they inspire them, they provide emotional support, they help kids develop socially and emotionally, and they create that sense of community that's so crucial in a classroom. You can't get that from a machine.
It's true. It's like they say, technology can teach, but only humans can inspire. So maybe the future isn't about replacing teachers, but
Yeah.
giving them AI as like a superpower.
Exactly. Think about it. Human 2.0 could free up teachers from all the boring stuff, like grading papers and giving lectures. Then they'd have more time to focus on building relationships with students and creating really engaging learning experiences.
That would be amazing. So it sounds like there's a ton of potential with Human 2.0,
Hmm.
but also a lot of important stuff to figure out as we go.
For sure, it's a work in progress, right? But we need to be careful and make sure we're using AI in a way that benefits all learners.
Well, this has been such a fascinating deep dive. Thanks so much for sharing all your insights. I feel like I've learned so much about the future of learning.
No problem. Glad I could help.
And to all our listeners out there, we hope you've enjoyed this exploration of Human 2.0. It's clear that the future of education is full of possibilities, and it's up to all of us to make sure it's a future where learning is exciting, equitable, and empowering for everyone. Thanks for listening, and until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.